Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. I am absolutely delighted you have chosen to spend some time with me today. A couple of quick housekeeping notes. First of all, I have amazing, smart, and clever subscribers and viewers. I get comments every once in a while saying, I just about spewed coffee all over my computer, or you made me burst out laughing. Let me please tell you, the feeling is it's a two-way street. You guys crack me up all the time. It's awesome. I really wish I had like a little laughing face, thing that I could answer your comments with. Secondly, I have some really, really smart and intuitive viewers to this channel. And one of them yesterday came up with a really, really, really good suggestion. And if you go into the comment section of yesterday's video, you'll actually be able to sort of follow the conversation. It was about karma and soul groups that come back together and the impacts and how that works. So a really quick this was the idea that was sent to me. It's brilliant. I want to share it and get it out there today. So, like how if you're sick, okay, and you're not feeling good, you broke a leg, whatever, and people start sending you get well cards, and they send you flowers, and they phone you, and they say, oh, get better soon, and they send you messages, and all of that stuff energetically creates positive energy that comes flooding into you, and it increases, it sort of raises your vibration or raises the body's ability to heal and feel better. In the same vein, if everybody started to send really positive, uplifting messages to the poor people who are suffering at the border as a result of your president and his administration's cruelty, bar none, though they will receive it. And it might help. It might bring them some comfort. So let's just take a moment and send them thoughts of comfort, of support, thoughts of warmth, thoughts of being, well-fed, comfortable, not in distress. Again, be very, very careful that you do not use a negative. So I don't be hungry. It needs to be replaced with feel comfortable and fed. Okay. They need to be positive statements. The world over, if people start sending those messages, two things happen. One, they receive that energetically, and they just simply start to feel a little safer, a little calmer, and less forgotten. Secondly, energetically, on a universal level, it ramps up the energy to make that manifest. So, and you guys, amazing. I know if all of us start sending those energies and those thoughts, they are going to have a profound and positive effect, because not only are those poor victims going to actually just feel better, but energetically it forces change to happen. So that adds to all of the energy that's already going on as people and communities and groups are forcing that positive change going forward. So thank you to my very smart subscribers, and specifically the one who asked the question and came up with the idea. And secondly, I'm going to thank you all now for doing so, because you're incredible, and I know you're gonna. So thank you for that. Second, we have again repositioned the microphone. So hopefully you can hear me better. Let me know if it's working a little bit better. I know, some people hear me just fine. Other people are having a real issue with it. Sometimes my videos seem to be louder than others. We're continue to work on it. So we've repositioned it, and we're going to see if that helps. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to look at another alternative. Third, I have been, I believe, very, very consistent in terms of sending out these videos kind of on a daily basis, and honestly, really around the same time. You would be receiving them sort of around the same time frame. So just a little heads up. Starting today and for the next couple of weeks, my family is going to be very busy helping my almost 90-year-old mother move. Amazing lady, spry as they come, in great shape, but she is almost 90. So we're going to be helping her transition from one place to another. So if a day goes by and you don't hear from me, if a video that you're used to sort of seeing at noon comes out at 5 in the evening, I just want you, I make no apologies, but I do want you to know what's going on and why. You are all wonderful, and I feel that you need to be kept in the loop so that you know what is going on. So that's that story. All right. The reading I'm going to do today is a viewer request, actually. And this person wanted to know if the United States is going to end up being like punished internationally as a result of the behaviors of Trump and the Trump administration. So that's like a really good question. So we're going to focus on that and do a quick reading on that today and see if we can get some clarity and some answers. So come on down and we're going to say, you have a question. Let's see, how do we want to phrase this? International community's response to Trump administration behavior. International community's response to Trump administration behavior and the international community's response to the Trump administration's behavior. Okay. Like the vast majority of people in the United States, the international community, certainly the allies of the United States, are concerned. They're worried. You know, they view him as dangerous, erratic, and stupid. They do. This guy has no business being in office, in public office, and the international community is very aware because they also are being subject to this sort of crazy push to the right. Every country's dealing with it, right? I mean, France has been dealing with it, England, Germany, Canada. There's this sort of, as things move forward and progress forward in a way that are different than the way they were before, people are resisting that change. And what's happening is they are pushing back and saying, I want it to be the way it was. And if that means we become more isolated and more self-focused, that's what it means. So it's not as if what is happening in the United States is happening in a vacuum. All the other international players are also dealing with these same kinds of issues on their land, in their homes. So there's definitely an understanding. What is appalling, of course, is that while other international leaders are pushing back and fighting it and trying to re-educate, their citizens and try to get people to understand that inclusion and multinationalism is the way to go. It is the way we must go. We are all on one little planet that we are taxing to the max. And if we don't come together, we surely are going to explode apart. And Trump, of course, is doing the exact opposite. He is the Putins of the world. You know, he is all the rest of those strong men of the world. So, going forward, so there's a clear understanding that these are difficult times, right? And country heads they have a lot that they're trying to contend with. Part of what is so appalling is Trump's obvious, and Trump's administration, obvious and blatant desire to monetize personally at all costs on the situation. And this is the thing. A lot of these people don't even actually, and Trump is sort of probably doesn't really fall into this category, but some of these people actually don't really even believe the right-wing rhetoric themselves, but they do see an advantage to themselves of falling in line. It's all about the money. It's not just in the United States, it's in a lot of places. It's about the money. So, while countries, while the international community going forward is going to be cautious, because what happened in the United States, frankly, was sort of more radical and more extreme than in some other places. And it seemed to have been embraced in an almost cult-like manner. Again, other countries are dealing with variations of the same thing. So there is an understanding, but there is going to be a caution about throwing, their arms wide open with a new administration. What you're going to see, and I believe I've actually used this phraseology before, is they're going to open the door and they're going to put out the welcome mat. They are not probably going to throw the doors wide open and have a party with the new administration. It's going to be a huge sigh of relief. It's going to be a welcome back to the fold. And we're going to just be a little bit more careful, a little bit more reserved, and we're going to see exactly how quickly and with how much sincerity the new administration moves forward to correct things, to set things to right, and to, get things into more of a balance again. Is the United States going to be punished? No, they're not. Because, you know what? This has been a trying and difficult time, not only for Americans, Canadians, the French, the Australians, New Zealanders, Germany, France, and all the other allies whose names I'm not saying right now. All of the people who subscribe to these kinds of channels, and they are international. Everybody's worried. Everybody's scared. Nobody likes what they're seeing. But there is a clear understanding that the majority of the American people did not want this. They did not choose this. And yes, a very low voter turnout sort of translated into a little bit of ambivalence and created almost like that perfect storm. Everybody gets that, Hillary Clinton won by, 3 million votes. It didn't escape anybody's attention. So there is a very clear understanding that, this isn't what they were asking for. This is not what the vast majority of Americans were looking for. So there isn't going to be punishment per se, as much as there is a hope that the insanity stops, the country moves into smoother, calmer waters, and comes out of this turbulence. Other countries are going to step in and do what they can to help you right the ship, get things balanced again, because let's face it, on a international level, from an international perspective, we have gone from being kind of separate places in the world to really being a global village. We are all interconnected with each other. We are all in this together. I'm always sort of given pause by people who write to me or comment and say, I'm always so surprised at how caring and how concerned the rest of the world is. Of course we are. We're all humans on the same planet dealing with the same situations, whether it is an increase of that sort of right-wing fanatic energy, whether it is the planet sending out distress signals because it is in distress. It's being stripped of its resources too fast. There's a lot of people. There's people who are starving who shouldn't be starving. There are people who have too much abundance that don't know how to share it. We're all in this together. It's one little rock hurling through space. That's what's happening here. We are on the rock, and we are the inhabitants of the rock. We're all in it together. So even though sometimes it may not feel like it, it really is true. What one area or country suffers, we all suffer for it. And now, because of technology, because of communications, we are so much more aware of what's going on around us. It's not like 80 or 100 years ago where, you got your news from one little newspaper and it took a week and a half for you to get the news about what happened yesterday. That's not where we're at. We're at a place where instantaneously people know and they react. And that's a blessing. It's an absolute blessing. Don't forget, for those of you who don't know, I am a resident of Alberta. And it was only a few years ago that we had those horrible, horrible forest fires up in the Fort McMurray area. And so Canada is also well aware of the love and the support that comes flooding in internationally when a country is experiencing a difficult time. So my final little housekeeping note, yesterday when I did my video in the morning, I was jumping up and down because I was a handful of people away from hitting my 1700 subscriber. I woke up this morning and I was just slightly over 1800. Amazing. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. Keep the likes and the subscriptions and the comments and the thumbs up coming. I appreciate every single one of them. So for now, take care. Be well. I'll see you soon. Just maybe not tomorrow. Take care now. Bye-bye.